Nora didn't know it yet, but some journeys aren't just about where you're going, they're about who is following you. 2 buses. 2 strangers. 1 secret that could change everything. The first bus carried her dreams, the second, his shadows. She thought she was traveling to Yosemite for adventure. But someone, somewhere, was already watching her path. Do you trust strangers? Do you trust what you see, or what you don't? Because not every smile is what it seems. And not every quiet man hides nothing. By the time she notices him, it might already be too late. So, tell me, would you follow curiosity? Or run from the unknown? New York City hums with secrets. Some whispered, some hidden. Nora boards the bus without looking back, unaware that today's journey will pull her into a story she didn't choose, a story she can't yet escape. 2 buses leave the terminal almost simultaneously. One carries her hopes, a backpack heavy with maps, camera, and a heart eager for adventure. The other carries him. Henry. A man whose eyes seem to hold a storm, quiet, precise, and unreadable. Do you trust the man you notice in a crowd? Or the one who notices you? Asterisk. Fate has a way of moving faster than the wheels beneath you. And on these wheels, secrets travel, sometimes faster than the passengers themselves. Nora stares out the window, watching the city shrink behind her. The skyline fades, replaced by the promise of towering cliffs and endless sky. She doesn't notice Henry sitting alone in a distant row, his hands fiddling with an envelope marked only with her name, though she has never met him. Or maybe, she has met him, and just doesn't remember. Have you ever felt that a stranger's gaze is more than coincidence, that it's a warning? Asterisk. Yosemite unfolds like a dream. Granite cliffs rise, waterfalls roar, and the forest whispers secrets older than time. Nora steps off the bus, every breath tasting freedom, every shadow hinting danger. A figure vanishes behind a rock formation. She blinks. Nothing. But the rock formation seems familiar. Too familiar. Sometimes, the world is not what it seems. And sometimes, the stranger you never noticed is already 2 steps ahead. Asterisk. Night falls. Stars pierce the sky with sharp, cold light. Nora lights a small fire. She tells herself she's alone, but she isn't. A note lies at the edge of her sleeping bag. Don't trust the light. No signature. No explanation. Just ink on paper, like a shadow passing through her life. Do you confront the unknown, or wait for it to speak again? Asterisk. The forest listens. It remembers. It keeps its own secrets, and tonight, it has chosen her as a witness. By morning, the note is gone. The fire reduced to ash. Henry is nowhere in sight, yet she feels him everywhere. In the wind, in the shadows, in the rhythm of her own heartbeat. And as the sun rises over Yosemite, one question burns brighter than the horizon. What is he hiding, and why is it worth following him into the unknown? Sometimes, the world conspires to put 2 strangers on the same path. And sometimes, it conspires to put them exactly where danger can find them. Nora boards a bus heading south, maps and journal in hand, hoping for solitude. Henry is already on board, a quiet presence in the last row. He doesn't speak, yet he doesn't need to. Have you ever felt someone's eyes following you, even when you're sure you're alone? Because on this bus, the air itself seems to whisper, watch closely, or regret it. Asterisk. A folded piece of paper slides across the seat from him to her. No words. No explanation. Just a location marked in bold ink, Blue Ridge Parkway, mile 37. Curiosity pulls stronger than caution. But some curiosity is dangerous. Blue Ridge Parkway rises from the mist like a secret waiting to be revealed. Nora steps onto the trail, heart quickening, carrying more than just her backpack. She carries questions with no answers. Henry appears at the next ridge, as if he had been waiting, or following. Every glance he gives seems to hide another story, a story she doesn't yet understand. Would you follow someone you barely know, into the unknown? The trail twists unexpectedly. Mist hides more than the trees. Shadows flicker where they shouldn't. And when she turns a bend, he's gone. But a small, folded map lies on a rock, pointing to a waterfall, one she doesn't remember seeing on the trail. She finally reaches the waterfall. Henry is there, leaning against a rock, watching the water crash into the pool below. He looks at her calm, almost too calm. "Why am I always finding you, or are you finding me?" she whispers. No answer. Only silence. Do you confront someone, or let the mystery lead the way? Because sometimes, confronting the unknown brings answers, and danger. Before she can speak again, a shadow passes behind him. Something or someone is following. Henry tenses. The calm disappears. And for the first time, she sees the man beneath the mystery, a man running from something, or someone. Hours later, on another bus, the world feels smaller. Yet the threat feels larger. A stranger slides into the seat opposite Nora. Smiles politely. Hands clasped. But when she glances at him, she sees something she can't explain. The stranger's eyes match a face from Henry's past, a face she has never seen, yet somehow fears. Secrets travel faster than buses. And on this road, they will catch up. Henry sits silently, watching. Nora wonders if he knows, or if he's the one being hunted. Would you trust someone who hides everything, or run before you're trapped in the unknown? The sun dips low over the mountains, turning mist to gold. Nora and Henry hike along the edge of the cliff, beauty and danger entwined. A sudden shout echoes from the forest below. Leaves rustle violently. A figure vanishes as quickly as it appears. Henry grabs her hand, pulling her back. His eyes meet hers, fear and something else, something unspoken. "We need to keep moving," he says, finally breaking the silence, but is it protection, or a warning? Sometimes, the person you think you're following, is the one leading you into danger. And sometimes, the danger is already inside you. Acadia awakens in mist and foam, cliffs carved by centuries, and the ocean roaring secrets into the wind. Nora steps onto the rocky path, each footfall echoing like a question. Henry walks beside her, silent, but his hands tremble slightly. Have you ever wondered if beauty could hide danger? Here, it does. Every cliff, every shadow, every gust of wind whispers warning. And then, he disappears. One moment he is there, leaning against the rocks, the next, gone, swallowed by the fog. A faint trail leads her to a small cave. Inside, she finds a wall of newspaper clippings, photos of missing persons, and Henry's name appears, but not as the man she knows. Was he running, or protecting someone? And if he was protecting, from whom? Hours later, on another bus, Nora senses it before she sees it. A stranger sits across the aisle, eyes scanning her face, calculating. And Henry doesn't notice, or doesn't care. Does he know this person? Is he hiding from them, or leading her into their path? Questions outnumber answers. And on this road, answers can be dangerous. Nora finds a small envelope tucked under her seat. Inside, a single photograph of Henry, younger, smiling beside someone she doesn't recognize. On the back, they're watching. Always. Every heartbeat now carries the weight of suspicion. And suddenly, the man she thought she could trust, seems more unknown than ever. Henry emerges from the shadows of the cliffs, expression unreadable. "I had to make sure you stayed safe," he whispers. Nora wants to believe him. She wants the trust, the warmth, the romance. But the cave, the newspaper clippings, the photograph, the stranger on the bus, None of it fits with the man she thought she knew. Do you follow someone you barely understand, or run from what could destroy you? Asterisk. Suddenly, the figure from the bus appears on the cliff above. Watching. Waiting. A warning? Or an executioner? Henry grabs her hand, pulling her to safety. But as they flee along jagged rocks, Nora realizes, this is no longer about adventure. This is survival. Asterisk. They reach a hidden cove, sunlight glinting off the water. Henry collapses against a rock, finally allowing the mask to slip. You don't understand, he says. Everything I've done, it's to protect you, from my past, and theirs. Before he can explain, a shadow moves across the rocks. The figure is closer than ever. Nora doesn't know what to do. Does she trust him, or trust her instincts? Every decision here could be the last. Asterisk. Asterisk. And then, the envelope falls from his pocket. Another note. Handwriting she doesn't recognize. If you value her life, do not look back. Henry turns to her. His eyes plead, warning, desperate. Do you look back? Or follow blindly into danger? Asterisk. Asterisk. The tide rises. Mist curls around their feet. The stranger's shadow stretches across the rocks. Nora's pulse races. Henry grips her hand, but the distance between them grows not in space, but in the unknown. Sometimes love means trusting someone you don't fully know. Sometimes survival means running from someone you thought you could trust. The choice is hers. And the secret is about to explode. Asterisk. The cliffs of Yosemite rise like ancient sentinels, silent witnesses to secrets too heavy to carry. Nora and Henry move cautiously along the ridge, shadows stretching long in the dying light. The stranger knows, the threat still follows. Footsteps echo from above. Every gust of wind carries warning. Henry's hands grip hers tightly, but not in anger, in desperation. This is the last time, he whispers. Everything I've done, every secret, it all comes to light now. Do you trust a man whose life is a maze of half-truths, when the wrong choice could be fatal? They reach a narrow ledge. Henry pauses. You need to see the truth, he says, voice low, urgent. And then he disappears over the edge. Nora gasps, but the ledge leads to a hidden path, carved into the cliffside. A path only Henry knew existed. The hidden path opens to a quiet clearing overlooking Blue Ridge Parkway. Henry stands before her, exhausted, but unbroken. And now, the secret emerges. Years ago, he begins, voice barely above the wind, I made a choice to protect someone I loved from powerful enemies. I vanished, assumed a new identity, and built a life on the edges of normal. Every step I took, every note, every disappearance, was to keep them safe. And now, you are part of it. A silence falls. The sun dips low, turning the mist to gold. Do you forgive a life built on deception, when the truth is this heavy? Before she can respond, the shadow appears again closer, relentless. Henry steps forward, protective. Run with me, he urges. Trust me one last time. They flee through the forest, the shadow close behind. Every step tests courage, trust, and love. Rocks, roots, and rushing streams become obstacles and allies. A sudden stumble. Nora falls. Henry dives after her, shielding her as the figure passes. And then, nothing. Silence. The thread is gone, or has it only moved beyond their sight? Henry finally looks at her with raw honesty. I can't protect you from every danger, he admits. But I can trust you, with my life, if you trust me. The dawn breaks over Acadia. Sunlight spills across cliffs, painting gold over mist and ocean spray. They stand together, hands entwined, faces bright with relief and something else hope. The secret is no longer a shadow, but a bridge. A bridge to trust, love, and the life Henry has finally revealed. Would you forgive a man who vanished to protect, and risked everything to return? And the answer hangs in the wind, as infinite and open as the cliffs before them. Some secrets are heavy. Some truths are dangerous. And sometimes, love demands a leap of faith across the edge of fear. Nora and Henry walk along the cliffs, past shadows, past danger, into a horizon painted with possibility. The story doesn't end with the secret. It ends with the courage to face it, together.